over the years, namely since March of 2007 when the truth came out, that this truth realization under oath, where now nobody can lie under oath, and basically, my demons, they were tolerant of my living, me being able to live up to this point, but it was time for me to die. And so the hits, some before that, but mostly after that, along the way, people would wonder, does this guy bleed? I mean, is this guy human, or is this guy robot, or what? They occasionally they want to see me bleed to make sure that I am I'm a human, right? So this kind of leads to my blood in its story here. But one second. So what I've done throughout my entire life that I can remember is I get hangnails on my fingers, and I like peel off or chew off the skin, and it produces a hangnail which bleeds. And so, really disgusting thing. I really do not like the fact that I do that. But in the Navy, they actually made you for cleansing the nuclear material purposes. They didn't want to get you get infected in there, so they made everybody go a year and a half without chewing it. So I could do it. I can do it. I don't know what kind of motivation, but it has produced some embarrassing things. I mean, it's like one time I'm at a poker, I'm playing Texas Hold'em at a bar, and whenever I do chew my fingers, I don't even know I'm doing it half the time, and I catch myself whenever I'm conscious of it, I stop it. But occasionally it'll happen, and it's really embarrassing when you're playing cards, and the next thing you know, you're bleeding in front of everybody. And of course, I think the deal is to make it, it doesn't get any more embarrassing than that. I have a hard time being embarrassed. I can do most any scene, but that is a hard scene to live down when you're bleeding and when you just freshly you peeled your finger and it's now bleeding. And I do this right in front of everybody. It's so embarrassing. Anyways, it's awful. So I try to not do that a day before I go play poker. But I did it, and the thing about what happened when it did happen is that people were hoping that they could see me bleed. So there's actually a wish instilled upon me, a wish that says, hey, listen, we are not sure Chris is human. We would like him to bleed to understand that this guy can bleed. Because we want to know if he can be killed. So if he can bleed, then he can be killed, right? Or maybe there's something with this Jesus thing. We want to see if this. Maybe if he sheds his blood, he's Jesus or something. I don't know what quite is out there. I think they just want to see if they can kill me. I think that's the main thing. But perhaps there is this Jesus dualism. There's usually 2 or 3 things that occur, reasons for everything I do, and maybe So that's the worst of it. So then I got more stuff. One second. So so October 2007, Halloween 2007, I drank some wild concoction of stuff, and I had the weirdest hangover. I don't even get hangovers. I don't know what this was, but I was like messed up. I don't even know if I call it a hangover. I think I was being poisoned so weird that it caused some weird. I was like dizzy. It was kind of a daze, and so I go, and for some wild reason I called up Red Cross. I'm going to get my blood donated. So I donate, and I almost faded after that. It wasn't because I don't know. It was partly because I gave blood, but I just wasn't feeling good before that. Like I say, there was something weird spiritually going on. It was like a spiritual experience I was going through that entire day after this Halloween. Like I say, something I was drinking, the drinks they were serving me were messed up or something. Anyways, so I donate, and it was just a few days later that it just came upon me that, hey, I'm no longer growing old, and And so I've been spreading that around. I don't think I'm growing old, but it's really hard to tell because it takes literally 10 years to figure out if you're growing old. So, one second. I've been trying to get the University of Minnesota to take me seriously as far as running some blood tests to see this if I've stopped aging. I'm sure it's not exactly an easy process because, I mean, who comes up with that theory, right? That idea. I mean, the only people that do this are well, I don't know. Maybe there's people looking into this, but they're not testing me, and I've asked them a number of times, and once again, nobody takes me seriously because I'm a crazy man. I'm a crazy man on a mission of lunacy, trying to save this world and turn it into heaven, make everybody immortal. So the theory about this blood thing is that now I'm scared to donate my blood because I'm afraid that somebody takes my blood and they can do a transfusion. I have A positive blood. Yeah, I guess I'm positive I have A positive. Anyways, take that little portion, just a few cc's of my blood, and you inject it into another person that can be transfused. And I assume through a series of ways of transfusing, you can get basically any blood type. Eventually, you go from one. You just can't give any blood to a person, but I think you can give. I think O can go to anybody, but it's I'm sure there's some series that eventually my blood could be transfused into the populace by going to the Red Cross and giving them a liter of my blood, and then they make everybody immortal, right? So I'm like self-conscious, but it turns out I wouldn't go back to Red Cross again because the next time I did, it was after I bought this hooker, and I guess you're not supposed to. I guess your blood's no good if you've been to a hooker because they put me on a year probation from that one. Evidently they want to they're going to wait to see if I died and killed over before they want to use my blood again because they don't want to test to make sure that I'm okay or anything. We just want you $1,000 a liter blood, but we don't really want to test to make sure you're going to be alive in the future, So, anyways, I'll just go on that note with the Red Cross. I did. So a year later came up in 2008 here. I just recently donated, but it was kind of funny. I'm making fun of them for basically what I just said to you about yeah. So I didn't keel over and die. So now you want me? I was like, okay, cool. I was like, so I like tell I donate and I say is farm animals have any I didn't have to pay for the farm animals, so that doesn't count for the paying. I guess if you pay a hooker, that counts as a disqualification for Red Cross. But the farm animals were free, and then it's like I guess then there's this clause, if you've been subject to high risk of AIDS infection. Well, I'm like I'm telling them, well, I'm not sure if that cow it was mooing, but I assume he was enjoying it. So I'm on the phone with I'm messing around with these guys. I'm telling the farm animal concept. It's like I had to stay away from the hookers because this disqualifies me. So I gotta stick with the horses. I had to tell them they make some wild sounds with the sheep and the pig and yeah, they do. They make some interesting sounds when you. Anyways, when you get graphic, yeah. I think you get the picture. Yeah. Anyway, so I was having some fun with the Red Cross. I should almost record some of these things because I mean it's like if Red Cross. I'm talking to these. I left a message of some of these farm animal stuff, but I'm actually talking with them to schedule the appointment. I'm telling them, I'm giving them some crap for, ridiculing them that hey, I made it, I'm alive still, I didn't keel over, you still want now you want my blood, huh? Yeah. And I swear these ladies are fainting. They are like, literally what's keeping it. If I was getting paid $100 for this liter, they would fire me. Okay, this is what happens with my comedy scenes is that I'm only tolerable as long as they're going to make some money off me. If I'm going to get paid like in a job, well I'm going to get paid for what I do in a job? Well, no. It's not worth whatever you do, Chris Roller. So it's basically, if they're going to get something out of me, they'll tolerate my nonsense. And there'll be a few fainting spells and behind the scenes. Oh my God, you should have heard what this guy said. Here, you talk to him. And then I give the next one an earful, and they're all got to get psychiatric help after I'm done with them. But it's this process of tolerance that keeps me. Anyway, so 1 second. But before that donation, there was, going back a year earlier, so 2007, I was going to go in for the Red Cross. Oh, okay, I told you about that. The Red Cross told me that I was due probation. So, let's see, something happened at the VA, which I needed to give a blood sample. And 1 second. I was running a test with the VA and the together to do a study of my brain. Wasn't specifically for me, but for people that have bipolar and stuff. So in the process of that, they needed a blood sample, and so I was telling them that I think my blood is immortal and it can be transferred. And I was like, I'm concerned that you're going to take this and run, and you're going to collect some money from it. So I eventually got them to sign a statement saying that they at least donated my blood. As far as making some money on it, I did not get a statement about that. What happened, I'm going to give you a date time on that. 1 second. Okay, that was April of 2008. So it's a little bit of a story there with those guys. They're doing research, and I swear they were being very, very coy with me. I mean, I'm just trying to get some simple statements saying that they've tested my blood. It was like bending their arm for literally 2 weeks to get them to sign something saying that I'd given my blood. There appeared to be a game going on in which, let's get his blood and run, okay? And through enough bitching and moaning, I finally got a statement. But in the process, they were considering me as though I'm some like crazy man doing my thing again. And at the same time, I'm thinking, how hard is it for you to make a statement saying that I gave my blood? I mean, it's an interesting world in which I ask for something and whatever I do is strange, and yet they are never strange, and yet they were doing some strange and coy things in their research with me. So I gave VA a sample too from my doctor, and I told her that I would like to transfer some of this to the soldiers overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, so that they could have somewhat of immortality, protection bubble is what I called it, that essentially keeps harm out of their path. It's kind of like a minesweeper, just basically sucks up harm. The leading person is able to be quite safe without ever encountering anything dangerous. It can be very powerful. That's what keeps me safe from getting killed. It's so elusive. It's like I'm not in danger, even though I'm extremely in danger. So it's a incredible. Imagine it. You're the head man searching out a condemned building, and you're trying to see if anybody's hiding behind a wall or a door. There's some kind of booby trap in the hallway or something. These things will just simply be safe, or they will fail. Booby traps will fail, or everything will be safe for the lead man in this. So it's most ideal for these people that are these military people who are in immense danger. These guys tell me about, these soldiers are telling me about how their sixth sense is just heightened. they're so good, they say, with their sixth sense that they say that like 95%, which is unbelievable. If they're saying that there's some danger in there, and then they bring in air help, and next thing they know, they were right. That's amazing. That's an amazing statistic. 1 second. Anyway, we got to talk about this protection bubble on another link, but so I am trying to get compensation from the military in some fashion for pulling this off. And also, by the way, I forgot to mention that for a while I thought I was being protective of my blood, figuring it's just going to be transferred and I have no control of it. Well, it wasn't far after that sample with that research study that I realized that I could sort of control it via power of suggestion to limit the transfers to like 20 people, or like for the military soldiers 250. About that, it's about that much. Just to give them a sampling of of what it can do at the same time. That's about all that would provide a nice layer of protection for the lead man, for those guys. So now that I can control it, I'm not so worried about giving my blood anymore. That's why I don't make anybody sign any statements and stuff. But that'd be kind of a cool thing, this immortality thing. No longer aging. My eyes are they're getting worse. So I question whether I've actually whether I'm not aging anymore. I mean, I question it. Really, it's hard to tell. You can't really tell in just a year or 2 or 3. It takes 5 or 10 gray hairs and stuff. I really don't have any gray hair. It glistens a little bit with my brown. My brown sort of glistens in the light. So, but I don't think I have any gray hair. 1 second. I just thought of the Red Cross. That would be a place for Jesus to go, right? Put his blood on the cross, right? At the Red Cross, and yeah, maybe that's their whole intention about getting me there. They like to crucify me, but 1 second. Well, another thing about my blood is that I think through all the mutations and poisonings and stuff, I think I have 44 chromosomes now instead of 46. I'm not sure if I mutated due to the biohazards that were fed to me in my drinks. I'm not sure if that's always been that way, or if it just occurred, say in 2007 sometime, or it could have been 2008. I don't know. I don't know what samples I gave, and I don't know what they're seeing, but I do believe I've got some weird blood. I believe people have injected me with shots of every known crap there is. Malaria, AIDS, probably. By the way, this is not real. I'm not sure this is real. So that's the thing about it. Whenever these people are giving me a shot in the arm, it's like, die, MFer. You better die this time, you sucker. And they're giving me all this, what appears to be is every crap known possible that you could inject into somebody in hopes that it would kill me. And I think I've developed antibodies for these things. So I think I have some interesting blood. One lady said it was really bright. It's really bright blood. This was when I first went in 2007, just after Halloween. And she said, "Oh, that's very bright blood. I haven't seen that before." So I don't know. I don't know what. I don't. I just. It's. I think it's big in unreality still, but it's one day I think it'll be big in reality. That this is going to come forth at some point. Might be 10 years, but. Yeah, we got something going here, keep everybody from aging. I advertise this on Wish Mission. I'm not sure I can quite do that yet, but we'll see. Give it a shot. Again, it takes the testing for anti-aging is probably very complex and expensive. So, but you know, I'll give it a shot and I'll take somebody's money for it, right? Like everybody else, they take everybody's money and they give crap for a return. So, why not? Why not make a few miracles happen and take somebody's money for it, right? All right. So I think that's about all for my blood. 1 second, let me think. I guess that's it for now. So, bye. See, I do bleed. You're wondering if I do bleed? Well, what happens is I scratch the bottom of my the top of my feet itches. I did this a couple weeks ago, and it had formed a scab and everything. So I kind of picked them just now, just to let you know that I do bleed. And it is kind of coincidence is on the top of the feet. I didn't make it. 2 weeks ago, I did it by accident. It was just my feet were itching, and I scratched them. And but I did reopen the scab up and so that you know I bleed. And then on my hand, my cat right there, scratched me. So then I have a mark on the left hand. My right hand is still bare, so still waiting for that one to occur. I don't know if the cat's going to do that too or not. You know, but anyways, that's the blood of Jesus there, and I know the crucifixion doesn't take place till Easter time, but I was pretty much socially crucified when I saw a psychiatrist. So, but there you go. I do bleed. I am human, not robot.